Well, no. So under the house is like a nice 2-bedroom apartment just behind Dalton. You can see a little door just above his shoulder.
Sure. No, I believe you. Yeah.
And then I don't know why, but the like people who built the house, who were the owners still, for some reason set up like a gravel pit basement thing, which is where we are now. And because this is the Comedy Underground podcast, brought to you by Hotter, Home of the Arts, we thought what better place to film it than in an actual basement, because we can't be in the basement at Hotter. Does that make sense?
Okay. I get it. I just think it's not as visually stunning as some of the other shows you produce, for example.
Oh, like...
Oh, yeah, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, where's the greyhounds in the
Where
background?
are the pokies going off, and that's what you're missing. I thought this was nicer. Less distractions. Well, yeah, because like we didn't call it living room comedy. I thought doing it in a living room seems kind of dull, you know?
There's a lot of living rooms out there, and you've really found the niche market there for sex dungeons, I guess.
No one's having sex in Dalton's house, let alone the basement next to his house. Don't worry about that, Mel.
Wow, burn on Dalton. Wow.
Dalton, but you spent some time setting up quite a nice studio in one of the spare rooms.
Yeah. Spent a lot of time making sure it's all good. Like recording audio in there is fantastic. And then Josh is like, "No, we're going to record in the room that has all the spiders that you're afraid of."
Yeah. Dalton also told me that he was afraid of spiders while we were clearing them out by the dozens.
Never reveal that. Yeah, a weakness has been revealed, and that's a mistake, Dalton. And you'll learn to live that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have any weaknesses, Josh. So
that's why you're completely untouchable, Mel.
Yep.
How's Ipswich going?
Well, so much to see and do. Do drop by any time, and let's help get those property prices up.
We're not allowed to do that, actually, because of the whole social distancing thing. But it's nice of you to offer.
Yeah, okay. Look, there was a armed robbery of a 70-year-old gentleman a few streets away the other morning.
Really? During pandemic times?
Yes, they didn't. Well, they didn't care about the social distancing or the law regarding to not armed robbering someone in their driveway. So that was exciting. I found out there's a couple. One is 14, one is 15, and they live in a tent in one of their parents' backyard because they've been kicked out of all the parents' homes, but the parents want to keep an eye on them, so they're in a tent in the backyard. And that's just down the road as well, so that's nice.
So shit's going on.
Yeah, oh my God, I'm so busy. I've never been busier with my neighbourhood gossip.
Why? Do you know why they got kicked out?
I can imagine it might be due to some of the screaming that I hear on a nightly basis from about 9 p.m. onwards.
Is it good screaming from the tent or bad screaming from the tent?
No, a lot of fights, a
Oh.
lot of anger,
Okay.
a lot of emotions. Yeah.
I would assume a lot of the emotions about the tent situation, you know?
I think that young couple have a lot on their plate with their internal issues is what I'm guessing, just from living in a tent on the train line in Ipswich.
Okay. That's cool. Well, I'm glad you've got interesting neighbours, at least. That's, and stuff going on. Like, nothing's really happening around our place.
Have you heard the night screaming here?
Here?
Yeah.
Downstairs?
Yeah. There's a house like 2 houses down that way where there's some really nice morning screaming and night screaming.
Oh, okay. I haven't actually heard that screaming. So,
and there's a house down that way that they're having house parties like every night.
Yeah, I have heard a couple of, blaring house party, like a bit of house party music. But I guess the upstairs might just be slightly better insulated than downstairs in the basement. So no, I didn't know that was going on.
I don't hear it inside. Like if I go outside for a cigarette, you just have all the screaming from all the escalated domestic violence.
Oh, Cool. Yeah, that was a worry about the pandemic, would be the escalated domestic violence.
Yeah.
So, literally in our backyard.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But you probably can't hear that, Josh, through your virtual reality headset anyway.
Yeah, no, I'm plugged in. I've got my goggles on. I got the headphones in. I can't hear or see anything except for the Star Wars simulator that I've put myself into.
You're such a nerd. I'm going to bash you the minute this is over, this whole corona thing.
I say Star Wars simulator. It's just a simulator of me getting blown by Chewie. I'm kidding. I don't know anything about Star Wars. That sounds horrible.
Me neither. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Jack Barrett is a big Star Wars guy. Every time he stays at my house, he will commandeer my television and play Star Wars Battlefront 2. If I let him, but that's all he'll do, and it becomes not a fun hang. So I've had to ban him from playing Star Wars games in the house when he visits. Yeah, it's nightmarish to walk out and constantly be hearing the noise. And then one time he got so angry at the Star Wars game, he threw my PlayStation controller on the ground and it smashed. And he turned up to the gig that night. I hadn't been home, and he was like, I bought you a new PlayStation controller. And I was like, why? He's like, I don't want to tell you.
You need to get these nerds out of your life, Josh.
I know. Well, now they are out of my life, which is good.
Great.
I suppose. So how have you been doing? I haven't spoken to you in a while. I don't know if you've been speaking to Dalton. I assume you still have your nightly calls.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, how's the life of no gigs and lots of relaxing going?
Oh, well, it has been. I'm sort of doing this thing where I start making dinner at about 9:30 a.m. for something to do.
Okay.
So dinner's done. Tonight's dinner's done, and tomorrow night's dinner is mostly done. I bought a basketball, and I was like, that I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to the local park. I'm going to shoot hoops. It'll be good. It'll be activity. And I can't do that because the park is closed. Because I was like, wow, there's no kids here. This is amazing. And then I read the sign on the hoop saying that you can't play because of coronavirus. Then I looked into buying my own hoop, which are expensive. So I've just now got a basketball that I can't use. And I'm not bouncing a ball in my driveway with no hoop.
Yeah, no, that looks
it's not
crazy.
a good look.
It's like pedophile bait or something, just bounce the peg.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. What else have I been doing? I have been trying to work out at home, not as effective, I don't believe, as my chins will show you. And I have just been bored. I haven't really had any work of any kind because my backup job is teaching, but the schools are like closed and online and blah, 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 blah. So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
what's new with you guys?
Well, the basketball hoop near my place is still open. So you're welcome to come down anytime you've bought the ball, so why not take a two and a bit hour round trip to get down here to shoot some hoops? I'm surprised that they closed the basketball hoop in the park, though. Like, I get them closing the playground and stuff, but a hoop?
Oh, I was outraged. There's a sign on it. It's Brisbane City Council that
Don't you
says
pay
temporary
rates?
closure. I pay my money. But then again, the hoop I had chosen, I would have just done whatever I wanted because no council is going to tell me how to live my life. But the problem is the hoop that I had selected this day was on a street full of all these houses, very much exposed to the curb. So I bet those people are sick of having kids bouncing basketballs nonstop. They're probably enjoying the break thanks to coronavirus. If I'm here, they're going to call the council and I'll get a fine for breaching the corona rules.
Right, okay.
I went home and just did some more eating instead.
That is some paranoid thinking, a little bit.
Is it?
I think so. Yeah.
Probably.
Okay. Dalton, what have you been doing?
Absolutely nothing.
Okay, that's good. I mean, we've filmed a few of these now, which is nice. And then I'm trying to figure out how I can get my Virgin travel credit back out of Virgin, which doesn't seem possible now that they look like they're going under. Which is,
that doesn't look too good.
No, it's upsetting.
It might just be bye-bye on that.
Yeah, but why can't I take the Virgin money and put it on the credit card bill that I have because I spent all the money with Virgin? You know, like why doesn't my credit card accept travel credit? It's upsetting.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Yeah, just because of how money works, Josh, is how I'd explain that to you. Yeah.
I know, but it's so upsetting. Like the numbers are so big, and then the numbers that I now have are so small. You know.
I understand. Yes. I don't know how I can help you with that issue. But where were you going? What was your travel credit for?
The travel credit was for the comedy festival that we had to cancel. So when we we cancelled the comedy festival, they wouldn't refund us all the money, but they would put it back onto travel credit, which at the time I thought, yeah, no worries. It's fine. I can live with travel credit. In 6 months, I'll be flying people around for ages. That's awesome. And now they're like involuntary administration. I'm thinking, I wish I had that money back.
Yeah, money is cash is king.
Yeah, it truly is.
Yes. Dalton, you do music. Have you been using this time to create some more songs at all?
Yeah, I've been doing that heaps. That's primarily why I built like the sort of studio room. Yeah, just trying to stay creative and not just be another person playing video games all day and watching everything on Netflix. I mean, I still am doing that to a degree. But yeah, still trying to pump out music.
Good.
Dalton actually made the music, the intro for the podcast that you haven't heard yet, but you can pretend like you did because people would have heard it before they listened to this bit.
Well, I'm sure it's wonderful, Dalton, like all your songs that I have heard.
Do you want to give that a little plug, Dalton?
Oh, probably not. It's not good. There's nothing good on there.
Have you listened to a lot of Pig Beans, Mel?
I've heard like one song that I think Jacob Lingard shared with me or something.
Was it Fuck My Wife?
Yes. He said,
it's always that one.
Yeah. But apart from that, I just find it interesting when people who do comedy have other skills. And I'm like, if I could do anything else, I would be fucking doing it. Like, you've got music, Dalton. You've got your comedy. You've got your technical skills.
What are my technical skills?
Getting the sound on at gigs.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Sound taking skills.
Yeah.
Maybe we should drop in at this point. Dalton, did you know, have you heard of Animal House, Mel? Dalton's former band where he was like a metal screamer, like proper, like...
No.
Yeah.
I did not know about this.
I will send it to you later, but I will drop it in this bit here because the difference between seeing Dalton's beautiful cute boy face and then hearing him doing his metal screaming is insane. And you haven't done that in a while, Dalton.
No, that was probably 8 years ago.
Yeah, and in terms of the actual vocals, like out of practice, it means it's pretty difficult to get back into it.
No, it's pretty easy.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, then do it now.
Yeah. No, like I would need a week to practice, but it's not like, you know, I'd have to go and get singing lessons and spend a year or, you know.
Yeah, but he can do it and it's crazy because it just doesn't match the face.
It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, Dalton didn't always look like this, if I remember correctly.
I have grown over time.
I thought years ago you had like a beard and like shaggy curly hair or something.
Horrible. I looked equally as horrible in a different way.
Yeah, no.
Well, as you were describing that, Mel, he doesn't look that dissimilar. He's got the beard, his hair is getting long again, and it's getting pretty shaggy.
Also, you were bigger in size, I think, Dalton. Were you? You were a larger person? Yes.
Yeah. I was a little fat boy.
You're a big fat chunk, weren't you?
Yeah, and I'm heading back there real quick too.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So you say that you haven't been doing, and you were complimenting Dalton on his skills and other things that he has been doing. But have you? So you haven't been. I was going to say that you've been pivoting in some ways because I know you had a special released through ABC's podcast.
True. Yeah.
For Hands on Heads.
Yes, my Brisbane Comedy Festival show was recorded by the ABC and released for free through their ABC Comedy podcast.
For free? Is that lucrative for you?
What do you think? They obviously paid a fee for me to give them that. So I have released that. I've got a few messages from people on Instagram being very nice. No one's been mean yet. So
that's good.
Fingers crossed.
Feedback is good.
Feedback's good, but I am scouring the internet for someone who's hated it. That is what keeps me going in these dark times. Because I thrive on negativity. So but that went well. It was easy. It was a show that I had to do anyway. I was like, of course you can record it, bang it out, bing bang bong. Had to.
Yeah.
Done it by head. Final weekend of the Brisbane Comedy Festival. You're not getting out of it. All right, press record. Do you know I'm passionate about comedy, Josh? You know,
of course.
You know I'm not looking for a way out.
I've never, ever had you even suggest maybe cancelling or rescheduling a show or anything like that.
Not what I do.
I'd say one of the most passionate people ever.
Passionate, give me stage time and I will definitely relish it.
How did you feel about the show? Like, how did you feel about Hands on Head? Because I was really looking forward to seeing it.
I liked it. I did like it. It came together very well. I actually had done a lot more work than I thought I had. And by the final week, by the Thursday night of the Brisbane Comedy Festival, it was pretty good. But then again, my parents came to the show separately because they're divorced. Is he coming on Friday? You know. So Dad came on the final night on Sunday, and afterwards I said, hey, what did you think? And he does this.
Oh, my God.
Love it.
The notorious Barry Buttle.
Yeah, so Barry Buttle's approval will never be won. It doesn't matter how good it is or if it gets released by the ABC. And I said to my mum, because she came on like a Thursday night, I think, I was like, what do you think? And she goes, I'd heard that before. So,
oh my God.
Yeah, fantastic.
You speak about your parents a lot on stage, and it just seems like there's absolutely no element of exaggeration or hyperbole in anything with them.
No, I don't have to write jokes about them. I press record in my brain when they start talking, and then I say what they have said with a little bit of context built around it on stage, and it seems to work because they are both interesting, difficult people.
Well, I think that's the genius about you is that you. I mean, I feel like someone who has parents as insane, and it says as insane things as I've heard you repeat on stage and off stage to me, shouldn't be able to recognize it in the way that you do. It's like you should be a worse person for it. Does that make sense? I think that's what separates you from other people in similar situations, is that they just come out a little bit fucked and they can't see it, but you see it 100%.
Yes. Somehow I have turned around and looked at them from afar and gone, oh, I think that's a little bit insane. So, yeah, I don't know. I did this thing the other day. I'll show you this. I don't know if it'll come up that well. This is in what have I been doing? This filled in a whole morning. So I was cooking, and this blew my mind. So I chopped my nail off my finger, right, off that finger.
Yeah.
But there was absolutely no blood, and it didn't hurt.
Oh,
interesting.
I just went, and I saw this chunk of nail on the chopping board, and I looked and I was like, oh, it'll just spurt out blood. Not a drop of blood, and it didn't hurt.
And so what have you been doing with that?
Just telling anyone who'll listen.
Right.
No, I don't know. It's just, I've never had that happen before. I've never cut So anyway, it's a very sharp knife. It's a great knife. And
I had that, I think, it must have been the first couple of days of not being able to go out. And I was like, I am going to start cooking again. And within 30 minutes, just both hands, 2 bandages, just both of my fingers cut. I don't actually think either of them were from cooking. One of them was because I knocked over my knife block and put my hand out.
Yeah, like a fucking Rube Goldberg machine, though. Like you knocked one thing over that knocked other things, and then...
Yeah, I had a soda stream canister, Mel, and I walked past... I think I put my keys on the bench and, like, knocked that. That knocked my knife block, and by that time, I'd kind of turned to the side so it wasn't in my vision. I just reached out my hand. The knife block lands, knife comes out, my hand goes down and slides up the knife. Like, yeah, Les Dog's like a Rube Goldberg machine. Like the least efficient way to cut your finger. It was like a thing fell, another thing fell, it popped out. And I was like, yes, please, I would love to have a bleedy pinky for the next 3 days.
I just love the number of independent variables that had to come together at exactly those times for that to happen.
Yeah, and then a few hours later, I was feeling bad about my finger, and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to make myself a little shisha. I've got a little shisha pipe upstairs.
Oh, yes, yes.
And I did what I always do. I get the tongs to go and get the coals, and I flip the tongs and caught them, and it just landed on my I think middle finger and just split it right open immediately. And I was like, oh, this is great. I'm going to go get another thing of gorse, I suppose.
That is a bad day. That's a bad day. And you know what? That is the universe saying, go back to bed, start again. Yeah. You know, have a chai and connect.
Just Uber Eats. Yeah. Get back on that.
Because you were cooking a bit a few months ago when I spoke to you. You were talking me through I think it was a potato bake you were making, or was it a pasta bake you were making?
Did it have anything to do with health and well-being, or was it outside of that?
I think it was outside of health and well-being.
Then it may have been a potato bake.
Yes,
that seems right. Yeah, and if I remember correctly, that was about 18 months ago, and it was not very good.
Okay. Fair enough.
No, so there's been no improvement on that front. But I have gotten really good at my carbonara, which
Have you?
Yeah, I'd make a mean carbonara. That would be my go-to dish.
Like, you make it yourself, like you don't put anything from a packet?
Well, the pasta I get, like, there's a place near my... near Dalton and I that does a really nice like whole egg pasta. It's like a 24/7 fruit shop, and they've got all this like a lot of weird international foods, but the pasta is very good. And then everything else is just it's just egg and cheese and whatever cured meat you want, I suppose.
Yeah, well, you make it properly there. Very, very well done. Because
cream, baby.
Put cream in it. There's no cream in carbonara. Anyway.
How passionate are you about cooking, Mel? As one of the hosts of the Great Australian Bake Off, I'm sure that's a...
Only thing I care about in life is cooking. I'm obsessed with food. And, what have I been doing? I've been making butter chicken, which from scratch, which I thought was going to be too hard. And it's not hard at all. You just got to do all the steps like anything. And I read a number of recipes and found a combination of a couple of things that work for me. I've been making apple crumble. Not that I'm great at desserts, but why not? I've got time. And I really, really love food and cooking the most. And I'm a bit frustrated with the restrictions about going to the shops, and because I was a real wanker where I would shop kind of daily and get the freshest produce and the fresh vegetables and cook them like that day, and not just go to the supermarket and get a kilo of zucchinis and then use them over a month. I was right into being a wanker. So that has been restricted. Yeah. But food is like, I've just been reading cookbooks and that's really it. Have you been using your time to write any jokes? Haven't had a moment, unfortunately.
I mean, why would you? Just like, what are you going to not do the same show next year? Half the country didn't see it.
Precisely, Joshua.
Yeah.
So so I've really taken the foot off the pedal with comedy in any sense. I sort of had one funny idea that I can't be bothered executing, which is just for some online content, which would make me no money, which is it's like a video cut between me being my mum, then me being my dad singing the Nanny theme song.
I love that.
Yeah, so that's my best idea in all this time.
Well, I mean, maybe I have rose-tinted glasses on because I've seen your Instagram and Facebook videos before, but they're always very good. So that sounds like more good to me. Yeah. I think you should get funding for that.
What's your take on all the people like doing stand-up into their hairbrush, on their phone camera and broadcasting it live to, Facebook pages and groups? And
I think stand-up, I think we're really quite fucked as stand-ups because we really need an audience in front of us. So I have not watched a single person's fucking online stream lounge room set. I think you should be focusing on your dinner at that time.
Yeah.
Well, it's one of the two, right? It's either people are like, I'm still a comedian and I'm going to be doing comedy in my living room every night, 5-minute spot if you want one, or it's comedians who have just begun to discover basic life skills and they're like, oh, I'll put a shelf up. I've never cooked anything before. And you're like, man, what is wrong with you?
Yeah,
What's going on in your life?
Yeah, and the people live streaming and trying to put all that shit, just have a holiday.
Take a break.
Yeah.
Oh, but I've got COVID-19 jokes. I've got to get them out of my head.
No one cares about them. I have started a veggie garden. I have not thought about comedy, and I sort of have a bit of anxiety about it. I was like, I'll imagine when I get the first booking, the first hey, it's all over now. Can you come and do 10 minutes at this engineer's end of year Christmas? Oh, don't make me.
If you like faster pasta and faster pasta, come on down to faster pasta. Just past faster pasta and past faster pasta. It's the fastest pasta since past faster pasta. Past faster pasta. Just past faster pasta and past faster pasta.
So I think going back is going to be yucky, but I'll be so desperate for money that I guess I'll be doing anything, and then we're just back on the hamster wheel, baby.
Yeah.
Well, what's happening with because we were talking to Tom before about still ad agencies are still casting and doing auditions. They're just doing it remote, and they're running skeleton crews to film things, and it's all being done. I think I assume that Bake Off is probably a little bit different because of the type of show that it is. But is there anything happening in that sphere for you, or
no?
Okay, and then I guess you've already kind of answered, I suppose, by saying no. But is there any kind of pivoting that you've been doing?
No. I have been actually. What I have done is use this time to actually go through my accounting system and realize that one of my major people I provide writing to has skipped a number of invoices. So I guess if it wasn't for this outbreak, I wouldn't have known that they didn't pay invoice number 4003 and 4012. So not really the same as employment, but it's good, isn't it? For check.
Yeah, I've had I had a couple of those as well, going through my accounting software and doing a big migrate and being like, these people owe me, and you're like, but they're never going to pay because they're closed now and they're facing insolvency.
Yeah.
Oh well, I tried. Okay,
Yeah.
so not a lot of pivoting. That's fine.
Not a lot of pivoting.
Yeah, that's good though, because we've mostly had people who have been pivoting. Does that make sense? Mostly it's been people who are not doing what you're doing and taking this for what it is, and leaning into it, and it's this kind of desperation or feeling of desperation, or I mean, maybe not desperation, but certainly trying to figure out like what, like they need to make some kind of huge strategic move. I mean, we are also doing that right now.
Yeah.
We're literally.
Yeah.
I was lucky to have quite a nice financial start to the beginning of the year, so which doesn't normally happen. So I have just kept all of that money and I'm just whipping through it.
That's good.
That's my
great.
plan. Yeah. So I know I just hope it's going to go back to normal eventually, but also I'm lucky enough to have to not be starving to death because I have kept some money in the bank. But also I am just so bored. The boredom is then fucking hell. I would even do stand up again. Like I
would. Because I didn't get to see Hands on Heads. What's the premise for that show?
That show it explores kind of two main bits. One bit of my life, which is when I was at school and at high school. I went to an all-girls fancy school. Then the other half is when I was a teacher of mostly in special ed and learning support. So it's kind of that's the focus of the show. And around that is all my other stand-up to fill in the time. Yay!
Well, that's good because that does lead on to talking about what we mainly want to get into is like before comedy and what that was like for you. I mean, the teaching thing, obviously, great. That's real good. When it was that like straight out of school, was it because you wanted to be a teacher or was it because you didn't know?
I liked school a lot and I liked doing drama and I thought that I could be a drama teacher, but kids ruin drama for you. So it's like when you teach high school drama, it's like this thing that you love so much as a student and then you loved it at uni and then you get to school and the kids, they hate it and they don't take it seriously. And you're like, so, and it was just so, I don't know, I wasn't into it. So I left teaching a couple of times. I went and worked in Perth for the arts department of the WA government. That was one of my favourite jobs.
Oh, how long did you do that for?
Like 2 or 3 years. That's where I started comedy, was actually in Perth. So that's how I know like Mike Goldstein and those sort of comics. So, and Claire Hooper. So I was in Perth for a normal job to get out of teaching. And then I was like, I don't live here. I may as well do comedy. I've always thought about doing it.
Okay.
So that's when I started comedy over there.
And what were you doing in arts and WA arts?
I was like an arts administrator, like a project assistant, like in the Indigenous arts area of working in that, the grant giving out bit, which was
I love those
one of
people.
my favourite.
Big fan of those people.
Yeah. It was my favourite job I've ever had, I think. And then
sucked in Bake Off.
Whoops. Yeah. My favourite, lowest paid job I've ever had. And then what did I do? Then I came back to Brisbane and I went in and out of teaching, like only doing term contracts or a couple of weeks or, 6 months, trying to do a little bit of comedy. But I was terrible. I was not good at comedy at this point. Then I got a job at a stock feed company at Wacol in marketing, because when I was in Perth, I did marketing at uni at night time.
This is a lot more eclectic than I thought, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because in my head, it was just like school and then teaching and then comedy at some point.
No, I sort of hated teaching. Teaching is it's a lot of emotional labour. It's very, very tiring.
You can glean that from how you talk about it on stage.
Yeah. Yes.
I didn't know that you had a background in teaching, so I just kept seeing like how much material you would put out about high school and shit like that, and every time I'd just be like, man, Mel's high school experience was fucked up.
Oh yeah.
And how does she remember so much of it so vividly?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. So I when I got Bake Off though, I was back at a school. I think that was a year. It must have been about 4 or 5 years ago. I decided not to do the Melbourne Comedy Festival because I wasn't getting away with comedy. I wasn't sort of making a lot of money, and so I think I went back to teaching for 2 terms in special ed, and then I got the Bake Off audition. So flew down and did the first audition, flew down and did the second audition, and then I got the call at school that I got the job. So I kind of did go straight from teaching to Bake Off is how it kind of is on paper, but also like not really, because in the background you're also doing lots of comedy stuff.
Yeah. And when you quit a teaching job, when you're teaching special ed, I assume it's like most other jobs, you just kind of announce it to the kids, flip them off and leave the classroom?
There it is. I tried to think, do I tell them and have this whole term of pain of them whinging that I'm going, or do I not tell them and take the coward's way out and tell them on the last day of school? So the amount of whinging is smaller.
And so at 2:50 on the last day of school,
I was like, Massacre, Isaiah, Brendan, I've got some news. So yeah, I didn't tell them until like probably because the teachers were talking about, I think they gave me some presents or a morning tea or something. So the kids found out maybe one day before the end of term, and they were like, please don't leave Miss Buttle, don't leave. And I was like, I must go. The TV needs me. And they didn't get it because they don't think that teachers have any life outside of teaching. So they were just like, okay, you're going to go and be on the TV. Okay. Like, I think they thought I was just going to another school and didn't want to tell them or whatever. So, yes. And then since then, Bake Off, comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
Yeah, just like that.
Just like that.
So when you started teaching, it was mainly like drama. You just wanted to teach drama to, and high school kids was your pick.
Yeah. I did high school.
You didn't foresee how that would ruin that for you. Because I did a lot of drama. Like I did drama all the way through high school, but like I knew that it was me and my small group of friends who enjoyed the drama. Like everyone else was just like, oh, it's fuck around time in school.
Well, I thought it was cool and everyone would have a great time.
Yeah.
So I thought everyone thought like me, and that is not the case. Yes, but also English is my other area. So I did. There's too much marking in English, and then the first school I was at worked out I was quite good with like diverse learners. Let's say it that way, like people who need learning support and naughty boys, basically. So
okay. Was there a moment that you remember? I mean, I guess there's like a lot of, you're a student teacher for ages, and like there's so much hands-on before you're in charge of a classroom yourself. But was there a moment where you thought, oh, this is ruined? Like where it kind of clicked into place and you're like, oh, I'm not like with drama, at least, or whatever subject that you're passionate about?
Yeah, there was a lot of moments in my first year out of uni, out of school, that didn't really support me that much, and it was the kids were pretty lower socioeconomic, and I got really personally hurt one day when my favourite kid, Aaron was his name, in year 10, I thought I'd formed this bond with him and we understood each other and he was my mate and he wasn't going to be naughty anymore. That's not how kids work. And in the library, just for fun, he set off the fire extinguisher and the librarian yelled at me. Like, she didn't yell at him. She was like, you need to control your kids. And then I got really sad and I was like, oh, they just see you as the uniform, as the teacher. They don't care that you're their friend or whatever. And it took me to like really, really experience that to work out that it's just like prison and I'm screwed.
Yeah. Little sociopaths.
Yeah. And then this was the same school where I lost it one day because I thrown rubbish on the floor, and I ran some sort of competition to see at the end of the lesson who would pick the rubbish up. Like Australian Idol was big at the time, so I had like names on the board and everyone voted, and the person everyone voted for had to pick up every bit of rubbish off the floor.
So you had like a punishment idol?
Yes. Because I'm 22 coming up with these genius ideas, right? And so everyone, until the lesson ended, threw all that, like ripped every page out of their book and scrunched up and threw it on the floor and stuff. And then I was like, okay, Maria, the bell's gone. You've lost. You have to pick up all the rubbish. And she just walked out. I was
like, oh, man, that visual of you just standing there realizing that you're now picking up all the rubbish that you've created for yourself.
The rubbish was like this deep on the floor. It was like there was no carpet, just a sea of white paper. And I just like filled up so many bins and oh, fucking hell. Anyway, so that's when I was like, you know what? Fuck these kids. They're assholes. You don't need them. Yeah, that stressed me out, that school.
Well, I mean, you know, and like they're just kids as well. Like, I assume that you had. I mean, I don't really know how the Australian school system works because I'm from New Zealand, but like you would take drama was like an elective one.
Yes.
Yeah. So,
but it was compulsory for all of the kids to try it out, though. I think in year 8 and 9.
Year 8 and 9, I had to do it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So every single kid is in your class, even though they hate it and have no interest in doing it in years 10, 11, and 12 at some point.
Okay. Right. So, but then, like, was there surely then there were good bits of the day where you were like, oh, this is year 12, 11 drama. This is good. And then there were...
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, some good bits, yeah. But it was just very overwhelming being 22 and some of the kids in grade 12 were 18 and it was just, I don't think I had the right personality type to be a teacher at the time. Now I think I do. Now I've matured more, but at the time I was just like, if I'm nice to them, they'll be nice to me. No, they won't.
Right. Yeah.
They're dogs. They're ravenous. Yeah. So yeah, no, I'm still on the list to go and do relief teaching, like, you know, like for one day when your teacher's away. But what happens is they ring you in the morning at like 6:15 and I see the number and I know it's them and I'm just like, nah.
Okay. Are there any standout moments like where, I mean, obviously the picking up rubbish one is a good example, I think, but where either a kid's just totally won and you have to like eat the defeat, and then also so I'm assuming 22, where I thought you were going with that story is like you've invented this punishment game up for these kids and then one of them complained and you got in a lot of trouble because it's not on. But there must have been a couple of questionable things that you did where maybe with hindsight you were like, oh, no, that wouldn't fly.
I guess challenging a kid called Brendan who was in special ed to a rap battle, which he had no chance of winning, was probably a little bit unorthodox.
Why? What were you hoping to gain?
I wanted to beat him at something.
Did you? Had he won against you in something else that made you feel small?
Fuck, this is not what I wanted to talk about, Josh. He would just, everything I would say, he would just not do, or he'd be like, this is gay, I'm not fucking doing it, it's gay. And then I was like, you know what, Brendan, if I beat you at this rap battle, you have to read this book. You have to do it for the rest of the lesson. And all the kids like so excited. And yeah, and I knew he didn't have the the skills to do a rap battle, so it was a bit unfair. But he did get one line in. I made him go first, so I knew what I was dealing with. And he said,
the level of bullying.
also, he's 12, I think, or 13.
I was imagining a high schooler, like at least 15, 16.
Yeah.
Nah.
Maybe just a bit poorly behaved.
What did he say? He started off and he said, Miss, I think you teach like shit. I think you should suck every dick or something. And I was like, that's not bad. But he sort of just he didn't have anything else to follow that up after that. So then I just went in hard.
Please tell me you remember some of the lines that you used. And wait, this is special ed, right? Did you say that?
Yeah, but they're not that special.
But that's what I mean. Because you said that up top, you said diverse learning, but I think it's also important that we give context for what that means. Because, like, I've heard you say on stage that, you know, it's not, it's problem kids, right? That's mainly, it's behavioral issues. It's not always like, oh, this is, you know, someone who is challenged. Yeah. It's like, this is someone who needs more structure and guidance than the regular student.
So a lot of people in there have ADHD and like anxiety or something, you know.
Yeah, and so you antagonized this kid.
Yes. Yeah. So to rub salt in the wound, I was like, get up the front. So I said something like, I can't remember the rap, but it was something like, Brendan Lucas, your face is like mucus. Everyone in this class thinks you're a doofus or something. And I won. So the message you need to take home is I won, me.
Yeah. So,
and then he sort of he read the book, but like he got the book and like I don't know if he sort of pretended to read it or not, but he just kept going. At lunchtime, I'll get you at lunchtime, miss. And I was like, you had your moment, mate. You couldn't do it. No second chances. You get one bite of the cherry. So, and that was a mistake to do that, now reflecting on my practice, because it made the other kids in the class very, very excited. Yeah. And it made them forget about doing their work. They just wanted me to do more raps, and they didn't understand the insults behind the rap at Brendan, and they were all like, do one of me, miss, do one of me. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah, they thought it was just a fun, friendly roast time, and you were like, I am done with Brendan. I want to kill him, but I want to get away with it.
Pretty much, yeah. I wanted to have a win over someone who has some challenges in their life at age 13.
Was Brendan's thing ADHD or just poor behaviour?
That was one of them. Had some poor behaviour. Could have improved his literacy and numeracy, but can't we all? You know. So yeah, that career was not for me because I can't take a single knock, and what else? I'm very unorganized. Like, I couldn't go back to teaching like forever. I would reskill and probably do something else if comedy was banned or something.
Well, because I feel like you, Dalton, I might be wrong. You can tell me if my perception is wrong, but I feel like you have all the trimmings of a teacher. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you've obviously got that history there, so you can talk like a teacher and present yourself like a teacher and kind of demand, like you're authoritative when you're in front of a room. But then as soon as you get to know you, even a little bit under the surface, you're like, oh, this is not okay to have with a class full of diverse learning kids.
No, not okay at all. No. Yeah. No, I don't care. Like, not that I don't care about the kids. I don't care about all the other every other process in a workplace, about meetings, about emails, about because once you've gone from showbiz to having to go to a meeting at 3:45 about asbestos, you're just like, oh, I used to be on TV. Like, it's really fucking hard. So yeah, I cannot. I cannot be in a meeting. I can't do it. I'm an artist. So no, I would become like a cop or work in admin or something before I took a full-time job at a school.
Sure. That's fair. And I think probably that sounds good for the kids as well.
I think so. Yeah.
But there's a lot of like that's interesting because there's so much background process to it. Like I've never been involved in any sort of school system past the point of being a student, but I guess originally when I can't remember what bit it would have been. Maybe your bit about cats. I think I never had in my head. Oh, Mel was a teacher. I just thought, oh, Mel worked in an office. Yeah. But then it's both, isn't it? It's the nightmare of having to deal with children, and then the nightmare of having to work in an office.
Yeah. Like I found a Facebook memory the other day from when I was teaching, and it the way at this school you were notified that it was your turn to go and collect the rolls. So someone from the staff room, so everyone didn't have to do it. Was nominated week by week to go to the office and bring all the roles for our staff room. So instead of just having a roster on the wall, how it was told to you that it was your turn to collect the rolls that week was a pink piece of paper written in like primary school handwriting. It is my turn to collect the rolls this week with an exclamation mark, and the teacher would put that on your desk for the week. I was like, don't fucking tell me what to do.
How did you gel with other teachers?
I got on well with other teachers. Just any level of bureaucracy, like I just couldn't take seriously, like head of department or above. I was just like, blah, 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 whatever, who cares, doesn't matter. So yeah, I got on well with the other teachers in the staff room, but just that kind of like, for example, a woman on her stapler had written a note and sticky taped it on the stapler. It said, "This is Cheryl's stapler. I live on Cheryl's desk. Who cares, Cheryl? It's not. It's actually Property of Education Queensland. It's not your stapler."
Well,
I get quite so yeah. Maybe I should look at some medication, but I get quite annoyed at stuff like that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it seems like the idea of having a workplace full of teachers seems like nightmarish in itself, though, which I guess is why I asked if they were, if you gelled with them, because it does seem like that's the thing that would happen, is that it's a lot of like, this is my stapler and here's your cubby hole and I've made you a weird slip thing that goes on it so you know it's yours. And it's like, man, I'm not one of the kids. Like, why?
Yeah, I suppose teaching is a bit like stand-up, where you don't work directly that often with other teachers. You know what I mean? So, like, we're all at the same gig, but we're all doing our own. We all go off and do our own class, our own show. You only sort of see them in the breaks. So they don't have that much power over you, which is good, I guess. But, other teachers, I got on well with them on the most part, except ones that were obsessed with the rules and ritual. And I was like, yeah, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. So I couldn't cope with that because I don't like rules.
Mm-hmm. Did you have any interesting altercations, I suppose, with other teachers? Like, what were the, like, I get the stapler thing. Obviously, that's like a nice little, like, it kind of boiled down. But there must have been something more explosive, right?
I'm trying to remember back because this was a long time ago. I don't know. I don't like conflict very much, so I won't go after conflict. I'll just like quit the job or whatever.
Okay. Did that happen often?
Oh yeah, I just wouldn't renew for another term if I didn't like. Do you know what though? One time, you'll like this story, boys. I was at Redbank Plains State High filling in for a term because the teacher had been pushed into her own desk and had like broken something in her back, blah, 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 whatever.
By a kid?
Yeah, by a kid, of course, yeah. So I'm filling in for her and it was very hard, like a lot of really challenging kids, very, very tough school. And then I think it was a Friday afternoon, they were like, guess what? We've got a special guest coming to the school, so you don't have to worry about your classes from lunchtime onwards till 3. I was like, oh, what a relief. I need this break so much. Great. And who it was someone who is now kind of around the comedy, in inverted comedy scene. It was someone who was a Christian magician.
There's a performer that all three of us are aware of.
Uh-huh. And this person looked very different to the way they look now. And they
In what way?
They looked more like old Dalton used to look.
There's hope for you yet, Dalton.
They did some magic tricks to teach us about how real Jesus is, because if you're trying to communicate that someone is real, use magic that we all know is definitely factual.
Yeah. Trick them. Trick the kids.
Trick them. But I was just so glad for the break. And he did all these tricks and he had stories about faith and blah, 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 blah. And then years later, I found out that he is now one of the naked magicians.
If you like faster pasta and faster pasta, come on down to faster pasta. Just pass faster pasta and pass faster pasta. It's the fastest pasta since faster pasta. Pass faster pasta. Just pass faster pasta and pass faster pasta.
Yeah, I don't know. If I had to have a normal job, I don't think it would be teaching. I can't handle the stress of it all. Oh.
I mean, just being around kids for that long seems very frustrating to me.
Oh, they smell, they fucking stink. And after lunch, the boys stink because they've been running around playing sport. The girls have put on so much fucking impulse body spray, you can't breathe. I'm like, I was on TV, guys. So, yeah.
Have you taught since being on TV?
No, not. Oh. I don't think so, actually. Maybe not since Bake Off.
Okay.
Oh, or did it? I can't remember.
Oh, but you would have done TV before that, right?
Before Bake Off, and then
yeah, like little bits and bobs and stuff. But I had one kid who was a difficult young man who he found out that I did comedy and he didn't like me. We didn't get on, Dylan and I.
Why do they always have these names? They've always got the names of kids
that I would assume
the
to
way
be
it
problems.
And so I'm supervising. I've got a supervision for a woodworking, a manual arts class or something, and every kid is just quietly doing what they're meant to do. And then it's really weird. I hear this noise that's really familiar, and I'm like, what is that? Where is that coming from? It's me. So Dylan has opened his laptop and is playing a really old YouTube clip of me doing stand-up.
The ultimate roast.
And he's 14 and he's sitting there with his arms folded looking at it going, not funny, not laughing, don't like that, don't know what the audience are laughing at. And I was like, close your laptop. So I think even when they do find out that you do some form of showbiz, then they're never going to be like, oh, that's amazing, that's really great. They always think you suck. So, yeah, I've got recognised by teachers before but not for having a career mail column, but that is about it. Oh,
yeah. How long have you had your mail column?
Oh, so long. Maybe since... It's got to be almost 10 years, I reckon. Maybe.
Yeah, wow.
That sounds like a very long time. Yeah, it's just very difficult every week to think of something to write about because
I love your
something
courier mail
interesting.
bits. They're so good.
Do you?
Yeah, they're
Thank
great.
you. It's a challenge to come up with something.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's a testament to its quality, though.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
That's
Very
okay.
kind.
Yeah, that's
I love the idea of you being recognized and some kid playing your like YouTube clips on his laptop.
and just don't like it.
Not good.
Not funny.
I got picked up from school. So at this school, I don't think I owned my own car at this point or something. So my dad picked me up one afternoon, and Dylan saw me and literally did the thing like the kid from The Simpsons and just pointed and was like, ha ha. And I'm like, who cares? Like, you're 14, you little fuck. Anyway.
I just like having to. I guess the thing that is so funny, and I never really thought about with teachers, and like, but you have made me think about, especially on stage, is just you're subjecting yourself to the structure and the dynamic of high school again. Like, you're just putting yourself back in there and opening yourself up for ridicule from literally the worst types of people. Teenagers, just teenage and preteen kids.
Yeah. They never think you're cool or fun or funny. And if you say, well, guess what, guys? I do stand-up comedy and I know Dave Hughes. They go, oh, do you know? And it's always some YouTube comedian I've never fucking heard of. And I'm like, no, I don't know them. I don't know who they are.
Have you, please tell me you haven't pulled that out before. You've never used stand-up comedy. Have you? have you really said, I actually do stand-up comedy?
Yes.
This is why you're picked on, Mel.
I did. I don't know. I got pushed into a corner.
Oh, man.
High school fucking sucks. High school sucks for everyone. For teachers, it sucks because you have to watch kids go through what you are now so embarrassed about that you went through, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Well, Dalton maintains that he had a really good high school experience.
I loved high school.
I loved high school too. I really liked it, but I'm just glad there's no evidence of what went on. Like,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Yeah. I'm glad it's all like trapped in people's minds. You know. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
I guess I was in the group that was always like fucking with the teachers.
Mm-hmm.
Which now I
That
feel
is not
horrible
surprising.
about. You feel bad
Thank you,
about it now?
Dalton.
Well, not really. It was pretty funny. But like, also I was one of the kids where just every teacher in your head is 50 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And then you graduate and you're like, oh, they were all 22.
Yes.
Like, we could have just hung out and been friends. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So when I was 20, I was 22 my first year out, and I said, how old do you think I am? And like all the kids, they just can't tell how old you are. They'd be like, 41? I was like, not even close.
Why are you opening yourself up to this? Like, telling people you know Dave Hughes and getting them to guess your age.
Is all things I don't do anymore. So I had to learn the hard way as well that you just have to be a professional rock and say very little.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because, you can get in trouble for bullying children into, doing rap battles or whatever.
I've not heard of that. That must be new. It must
Maybe not
at the schools you teach at. I don't know.
I think it's just a survival battle at the schools I teach at.
Yeah.
So you had a good high school experience, and so I assume you also had a lot of, like, you liked your teachers and had a lot of respect and adoration for them, and so it made sense for you to go that direction?
That's right.
Okay.
That's exactly right.
So funny. Because I also assume that, like, and amongst the nightmare that is dealing with all of this as a teacher, you still have those, like, students who are gems, and you're like, oh, they're great. I love them. And
yes.
who are...
Yeah.
But they just kind of fall to the wayside, and you're not sitting around going in your day-to-day life now going like, oh, I think I really had an impact on some of these kids. You're just sitting around going like, remember when that kid did this thing and I fucking hate you, Dylan?
naughtiest kids I've ever taught are my passwords, so I will never forget.
Keep it in there forever.
Yeah, that's great.
It's brilliant.
And every time I log on, I go, oh, I wonder what he's fucking up to, that little shit. So,
Have you looked any of them up?
Yeah, I've got one of my naughtiest ones ever on Instagram who is he? I think he's out of school now, I think, and he is very friendly and polite. So,
damn.
Yeah.
I was looking for more of like a little revenge.
No.
No, you don't often get those, I suppose.
You don't. No, it's hard. The ones you really hope have some, I don't know. This kid is, I've seen he's grown, he's developed as a person. But no, you don't ever get what you want. You know what I mean?
Of course, yeah.
So were you, when you were in school, were you like popular? Was there, what kind of clique did you sort of fall into? And then, like, I assume you're then seeing that from the outside, like 4 years afterwards. That seems pretty.
Yeah, I was kind of, so the school I went to in all of year 12, there was only 100 girls, I think. So it wasn't a very big grade. So everyone knew exactly everyone else quite well. I was probably in the second to third coolest group is how I would describe myself.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of like a little bit of a monkey, like, I don't know, I would get a good impression of a teacher and it would spread that I could do it. And then the cool girls would come over and be like, I hear you're doing Mrs. Brenner. Can we see it?
That is my favorite thing. My favorite thing in your comedic arsenal is the ability to do impressions of either very specific people that it doesn't matter that you don't know them because you're sure that it's spot on, or like a type of person like that that bit you have on doing school sports reports at assembly after the weekend Division 8 netball game. I first saw you do that at one of my base shows, and I laughed so hard I had to try and leave the room because I almost threw up. Like I started dry retching from laughing so hard, and that's entirely a impression. Yeah, it's beautiful.
I think I tried that out for the first time at your room. Actually, yeah. It just takes people back to a time. I think like an impression like that you haven't heard for 10 years or however long you've been out of school, people are like, oh, they all know that girl or that teacher or whatever. So I think at school, yeah, I was kind of useful to the cool group.
So you had good social currency.
Yeah, sometimes. I don't know. I still am in contact with my friends from high school, which I know a lot of people are not.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not. That's quite the testament.
I don't imagine you two would be.
Dalton, are you friends with a lot of your high school friends?
Some are a little distant, but we're in contact sometimes. One or two I've kept close.
I think I've got two.
Yeah,
just two.
Yeah, just the good ones. Yeah.
Yeah, the good eggs.
And then so then from like what was like being a teacher and then being out of that, like the hierarchy system and then having to watch it, like what did you notice?
Year 9 girls are the worst. They are some of the most irrational, bitchy, like I would involve money in teaching, and I know that's probably not orthodox, but I would be like, get cash out of my wallet and go, if I give you this $5, will you not?
What the fuck? What is this? This is not a teaching method.
Yeah. So I put $5. Yeah, there's no law against it. There probably is. I put $5 on the bench and say, if you don't mention Justin Bieber again, by the time the bell goes, I will give you this $5. And they couldn't do it. They just couldn't fucking do it. So Yeah, year 9 girls are the worst. Boys come back from the holiday between year 9 and year 10 with a more of a man body. Like then that's when a lot of boys,
They're a lot hotter.
they're so much hotter. And yeah, so a lot of them seem to hit like a full-on man spurt when they come back from the Christmas holidays into year 10. And I can't, I don't know. I think I would have been a nightmare. I would have not liked to have taught me. I would have been a fucking chatty Kathy. So,
well, were you were you bullied, or did you bully at your school when you were not when you were teaching, because we know that you did, but when you were in high school?
No, high school, we were too close as a school to have bullying. Like, that was overt anyway. It wasn't.
No, like, weird kids or anything?
Yeah, but they had their own weird kid group and they just stuck to their weird, and you didn't get involved with them because the school we went to was like, the culture just, you wouldn't, like, your parents aren't paying all of that money for you to go and make fun of Natalie, you know what I mean?
Right, okay.
Yeah. But bullying in primary school, I was bullied in primary school. And then I think in the latter half of primary school, I probably did a little bit of bullying. And I fucking hated primary school. I went to a state primary school full of fucking trash bags. And
Yep.
I did not really get on with anyone in primary school up until about year 5. Then I made my first friend called Lauren McMahon. Hello, Lauren.
Are you still friends with Lauren?
I'm Facebook friends with Lauren, yeah. I haven't seen her for a number of years, but yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's great. Yeah, I guess because, I know we had a few. My school had my high school had 3,000 people, and it was something ridiculous. So there were a fair few weird kids, and then from primary school as well, weird kids, and intermediate school, weird kids too. But like, I would have hated to then go. Like, I would hate now to go to a school and then be confronted with like the weird kid, and you're like, I don't know how to help you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they always rush forward as well. When you're a new teacher, the first couple of kids that come up to you, you don't, not that you have friends, but you don't want those kids.
So even you're trying to push the weird kids out of your circle.
Yeah. They just want to tell you their facts. You know, they always have transition lenses on, and they have a big pile of books, and they've got like cards, and they just want to tell you facts about ancient Greece that you don't care about or something. So you just got to push them back. Wait for the cool sports kids to come through.
Yeah.
You can be friendly with them.
Yes, well, I want them to like me, obviously.
Well, yeah, you don't want to be in. You made it through high school being popular. You don't want to then become unpopular in high school with your second go through as an adult.
No, definitely not.
No.
I love it. That's thank you, Mel. That's very, very insightful.
Yeah, it's probably a bit too insightful, I think, actually. Yeah.
No, it's good because I think that's well, as you said, like the idea of going back to teaching would be a nightmare for you.
Yeah. And for everyone else involved, yeah.
Yeah, for the students and inadvertently their parents, I suppose. But it's nice to take stock and find some appreciation for the craft and the thing that we love that we can't do right now, which is shows and gigging and filming Great Australian Bake Off.
Yes, I do miss. What do I miss? Let me think. The income. I miss the income.
Yeah, okay.
That's good. That's a big number one.
The friendships, the creativity. Yep, that's about it, I reckon.
Okay, yeah.
Did you have any questions for Mel before we wrap this up, Dalton?
No, I think we covered everything that I had in mind.
I think, okay, yeah.
Do you have any gigs coming up you want to plug?
You're good, Dalton. You're very funny. Yep, no, nothing. Nothing on the horizon.
That's cool.
Keep an eye on my Instagram as I gradually lose it further and further. Yep.
What are you eating tonight?
Tonight is a slow cooked lamb curry. I went on a bit of a curry spree. So basmati rice, and I've got some potatoes, some Bombay potatoes that I've made to go with that. But that's double carb. Whatever. I got on a spree. But and then lunch was pizza. Breakfast was like a full fry up English style breakfast. So,
oh, very nice.
Yeah, quite busy. But yeah, thank you for having me on your podcast.
Yeah, that's okay.
No
Yeah,
worries.
thank you for coming on.
Can you do some live cooking, please? I think you've done that once or twice before on Instagram. It was very enjoyable.
Yeah, I want to, but I'm stuck between actually doing it properly and telling people how to make what I'm making and just mucking around and being funny. I think I need to find a bit of a medium between those two things. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do that. Yeah.
Well, you can check Mel out on Instagram, Mel Buttle. I don't remember what your full Instagram handle is. I'm hoping it's just Mel Buttle.
It's actually Melinda Bottle because
There
I
we
got
go.
it when I didn't think Instagram would really catch on. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Melinda Buttle
so,
on
yeah.
Instagram.
Yep. And that's probably the best place to get in contact with me should you have any questions about if I taught your child.
Yeah.
For sure. Cool. Thanks, Mel. Lovely to talk to you and see you in these desperate pandemic times.
Good to see you too. Make sure you let me know when you put your podcast out and I'll retweet it or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. I think
sounds good.
with next Friday we start with them, so it'll be a week or two after that.
Wait, cool. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, Mel.
Bye.